Welcome to the Perspectives Podcast. I'm James McDuffie, and this is
BC.
And we're here to hopefully entertain you a little bit. It's been a while. I think we've had quite a bit of things going on in our lives. I've done a lot of traveling, so it's good to be back. So we want to try something a little bit different today, and that is
the Lindsey Clancy trial. Yeah, it's current events right now. Everybody in the world seems to be talking about it. I wanted to take a very particular angle on it and use this as a kind of an object lesson and a talking point to discuss our legal system. Right? It wouldn't be Perspectives without some sort of overly nerdy take on some subject, right?
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to initiate the uninitiated, there's a lady named Lindsey Clancy who back in January.
Sorry, I just want to fix the wire so it doesn't
Back in
break.
January
Sorry, go ahead.
of 2023, is accused of having killed her 3 children, ages 8 months to 5 years. She had an 8-month-old, a 3-year-old, and a 5-year-old. Very tragic. Her husband is the one that initially responded to the ex-husband now. Responded to the scene. And on paper, it seems like this case is about intentional murder versus need for psychiatric help, right? She was a psychiatric patient. She was being seen.
We're going to pause there really quick. So, first of all, I have no knowledge of this.
He has zero knowledge.
Might have heard it's starting to kind of come back to me. Like I kind of remember a trial of a mom that killed her parent or killed her kids. But I don't really watch the news. I think that people are hypersensitive to very negative stuff, and so I try to avoid as much of that as possible. I watch very specific types of material on YouTube and I avoid social media as much as possible. So I'm pretty much the uninitiated.
Well,
Other than what we did like 5 minutes before this we even started recording today.
So this lady, she's a former delivery nurse, a pretty good one from all accounts. Mind you, there have been, some 70 plus testifiers in the case so far. It's been ongoing for several weeks now. Today, something just happened. And when I say today, I mean, this is August 19th.
Yes.
When we're recording this. So the judge just dismissed the jury early for the day because something wild happened. So we're all waiting. We're waiting with bated breath to find out what that could be. But let me lay out the basic story here. Delivery nurse kills her 3 kids, attempts to commit suicide, kills them by strangulation, strangling them with exercise bands, big rubber bungees, right?
That's horrible.
Yeah. And she then attempts to slit her wrists, then her throat. Then she tries to hang herself and then throws herself out a 2nd-story window, all within a span of roughly 16 minutes or so. Her husband was said to have gone to the store and a restaurant. He was running errands for her. He was getting some takeout, and then she apparently asked him to get something for one of the babies. He came back, found her in the front lawn, and said, basically, where are the kids? And she goes, they're in the basement. Well, they were indeed in the basement. They were dead. So this
I can't even
trial,
imagine killing kids.
This trial basically centers around whether or not she can be held criminally liable for literal murder, or whether or not she should have the defense of insanity.
Yeah,
that's the framework, that the legal framework of the trial as it is ongoing.
Yeah, so I'm just going to keep asking dumb questions because I know nothing about this. So that being said, what is the case for insanity? Because, it sounds pretty straightforward to me.
The case for insanity is that she was on an entire milieu of psychiatric drugs, and she was being treated by multiple facilities and multiple care providers who were not in connection or conversation with one another, several of which that didn't have access to charts on the other side. So she was dealing with initially postpartum depression starting in 2022 after the birth of her last child. And it was very severe. Her husband was some sort of, I believe, and I could be wrong, don't quote me on this. Oh, well, actually, please correct me, Internet. I am wrong. But I believe he was a sales executive for a large tech company.
Okay.
My brain wants to say Microsoft. I could be wrong. And he was on the road a lot, gone a lot.
You can Google that.
Yeah.
Well, ChatGPT that now. Is that a verb in it yet?
I believe it is. Chat it up. Yeah, I think. So basically, he's gone a lot. She's struggling mentally. She's having all kinds of issues. Now, again, on the face of it, this trial is
Well,
is
get more into
fairly
the
cut and dry.
psychiatric.
We're just assuming she murdered the kids, right? So the psychiatric defense is that, well, she's on all kinds of crazy drugs that are affecting her sleep, messing up her hormones, worsening her issues with depression and turning that into suicidal thoughts. At one point, she reported having started to begin hearing auditory hallucinations, a male voice telling her that she needs to kill the kids so that she can kill herself and be done with all of this, right? Meanwhile, her husband makes her move down to the basement, sets her up down there, doesn't want her sleeping in the master bedroom, whatever. I think that's messed up, but I wasn't privy to their relationship. So he moves her into the basement where there were some baby monitors, and that will come in.
How old are the kids?
That will come later. Yeah. 8 months, 3 years, 5 years. The
All
5-year-old,
under 5.
he takes on business trips, not infrequently. The 5-year-old is the reason, supposedly, that he was told to or asked to go on the second half of his errand run that night or that day, because this child had frequent tummy issues and UTIs
Okay.
for a long period of time. We're talking like 8-9 months straight, which is not typical from what I understand.
Urinary tract infections.
Not a normal thing, right? So the case, and why I said in the beginning that this is about the justice system. The case is looking at this as if it's cut and closed that she killed her kids, cut and dry. The internet and the internet sleuths thereof, that the denizens of the deep, dark nooks and crannies of social media and the internet, they have dug up some things that cannot be accepted into court as evidence, right? They've done some independent investigative journalism, if you will. And some of the things that have come out are that, well, Mr. Patrick, her now ex-husband, who was thought to be a victim in all of this, as you know, his children were horribly murdered by his wife, and who has made millions off of not only life insurance policy, but also
Wait, he had life insurance policy
on
all
her,
the kids?
on her and the kids. Yeah.
I mean, that's normal if you're a tech guy.
Yeah, sure.
I have a ton of insurance policies for the whole family just because it's cheap for us to
Yeah,
get.
in and of itself, any of the singular details I'm about to mention don't really spark anything in particular. Taken in totality, you'll see where I'm going with this.
I think I'm already seeing where you're.
He made millions, and GoFundMe. He made over $1 million on a GoFundMe because of this situation.
What was the GoFundMe posted, like, pay for my court fees, or?
Well, we'll have to dive into that after the show, but basically all of this is a horrible situation. Feel sorry for me. And people did. People very much did.
Okay.
As you rightly would in America. You would feel bad for somebody who just had 3 of their kids heartlessly slaughtered by somebody. Well,
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of questionable. My brain is like already going.
Lots of people have empathy.
So my wife likes to watch those murder mystery, not the murder mysteries, but like the shows on Netflix. And when she travels, she likes to watch all those, who done it type of things where they get into all these crazy details of husbands murdering spouses and like the long crazy story. So my mind is already going to, okay, how is the husband driving all of this? But I don't have any evidence of that. So you said she's on psychiatric drugs
that are making her suicidal.
But why doesn't she just stop taking the drugs?
She did. She stopped some of them over the course of many months. She had her drugs adjusted many times as she was trying to find a happy medium because she was messed up and things were not working well. She started to hear these hallucinations. She ultimately checks herself into a psychiatric hospital.
She checks herself in.
Yeah, she was like, I need help. She was asking for help. She asked her husband for help many times. His solution was to put her in the basement and take the oldest on business trips. So
how do you trust your crazy wife with your 2 youngest kids on business trips?
That's a great question. He went on many also. He was gone a lot, frequently. So what the internet has dug up, now none of what I'm about to say is admissible, right? Because this is nothing that was privy to the court at the time of the trial beginning. And none of this was dug up by investigators. Couple key things. One of the lead investigators on the case is almost lifelong, since childhood at early school, lifelong friends with his now current wife.
With his current wife?
The wife, the lady he replaced Lindsay with.
So he got remarried?
Yeah, she's a doctor. She looks like the spitting image of his ex, which is, it's a juicy detail for those who care, and it may or may not matter. He replaced his wife with another wife that looks just like his old wife. They're both medical professionals. Weird. At the time of his marriage, and at the time, more importantly, at the time of the death of the children, he was having an affair with that lady in New York. He had just gotten, a month prior to the murder, he'd gotten an apartment in New York.
He did it.
To see, well,
He did it. Like, you right, internet? Is this not
but
obvious?
this is what everybody, not everybody, this is what a lot of people's gut is telling them, right? This guy he has motive, right? He had an affair, was having an affair. 3 weeks after the kids die, he goes on a trip to, was it Costa Rica, guys? To a foreign country. He goes on a semi-tropical vacation to a place, claims in an internet review that he was alone, but wasn't, because his now wife outed him in a later review of the same place that they returned to later on. They like go to the same place every year for vacation.
Wait. His wife and
His
him,
current
or
wife.
his current wife?
His current wife.
So his new wife
The
and
new
him
boo, yeah.
go to the same place multiple times?
They've gone every year since.
Every year since the trial.
But they were already involved at the time, right? But this is not known to the court. This is something, all this is dug up. The lead investigator, really good friends with her, the new wife, since childhood. So he should have recused himself right away.
We'll call her Chandra, the new wife. Marissa, Leanna,
Let me look up
Rebecca. Chia.
I should have had this.
What was that? Pixels? The candy with a K or something like that?
Dr. Rachel Dennis.
Rachel. It's a Rachel. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't.
She's a reproductive. She's a reproductive endocrinologist
I mean, that's cool.
and a fertility specialist. Both, they look the same. Both medical professionals in the same line of work. Weird. Super weird.
Coincidences.
Coincidental. Totally
maybe
coincidental.
They met each other at a single
Also,
function where the
talking about coincidental things. Going back to the day of the murder, turns out the drugs in Lindsay's system were not taken via pill form, even though she had been on pills for a long time. And we know this because she charted herself like a proper nurse every day. So we have basically,
my wife says if you don't write it down, it didn't happen.
yeah, we've got a long running journal, basically, of all of her struggles, ups and downs, and her dealings with psychiatrists and with nurses and with other professionals, how she was feeling, how she was reacting to the drugs. This lady is awesome. Right?
Wow. Okay. I'm impressed.
Yeah. But this day, the drugs are in her system via lemonade, which is a little strange.
Did she document it?
No. Again, in and of itself, not
Okay.
too weird, but a nurse who is that neurotic about charting everything and that specific about taking things and particular dosages, to crush up her pills and put them in a lemonade for the first time in her life, the day she kills her kids,
Totally
a little
did it.
odd.
No. There was this exact murder thing that my wife was watching, where the husband was like grinding up rat poison and putting it in her smoothies in the morning. This is exactly like that. And she said a male voice saying,
let me continue.
Kill the kids.
So she,
Dude, this is obvious.
At night, she's listening to baby monitors. The speakers are up in his room. They're reversed. Normally, baby monitor, you have the speaker down where the baby is so you can listen to the baby, right?
Did you say he's a tech engineer? He can
He's a
reverse
tech
that.
guy. So they're in reverse. The speaker are on her end. So she's receiving audio. Who knows? And check this out. The bands, the rubber bands, the exercise bands used to kill the kids don't have her DNA on them. 4 rubber bands were recovered at the site. 3 were used to strangle the kids. The 3 that were strangling the kids don't have her DNA. They do have his and a second person, an unknown.
What? It's the wife.
Oh, right. Now
Is that in court? Is that in court? That's in court.
No,
that's not.
Well, the
submissible to
DNA is
court?
yes.
That has to be.
It is. But again, the case is about her, not about him.
Yeah.
So that's
But
circumstantial.
there's reasonable doubt.
That's circumstantial.
Reasonable doubt.
Sure, but at best, this case can find her.
Not guilty.
No, this case will find her criminally insane. So basically, no matter what, she's screwed.
No. Because if
this
she didn't actually kill the kids,
unless the case is thrown out,
if there's reasonable doubt that she did not kill the kids,
so
it could be thrown out.
moving forward. That day, he was gone for.
Hold on. You said she tried to commit suicide. How does she try to commit suicide?
She's got the drugs in her system. She just killed the kids. She tries to slit her wrist the wrong way. The wrong way.
What do you mean the wrong way? What does that even mean?
So when you cut your wrists, I don't think we can show this on YouTube, but basically,
They don't show it on YouTube.
This is the
we
way,
don't talk about it.
this is the way to
Okay.
do it, not this way. This is
Really?
this is how you do it if you want sympathy, because you get train tracks, you'll get scars, and you'll look like an emo. People will feel sorry for you. If you go this way, this is how you actually sever arteries, because you're getting down and past the
We'll stop talking
bones and
about
all
it.
the protective.
Okay, there's
Anyways,
a specific way to do it. I didn't even know that.
yeah. Which she should know because she's a nurse.
Don't
also,
do that. Ever.
Also, her
Not
search
condoning anything.
her search history on her tablet was looking just prior to this was like how to commit suicide by cutting your wrists and how to commit suicide by cutting your carotid. The carotid artery was misspelled, dramatically misspelled. I feel like she should know how to spell carotid. I also feel like she should know how to sever a carotid artery. She's a nurse. She knows how the body's put together.
I would feel like a nurse wouldn't have to look that up.
They wouldn't. I don't think so.
Like
But this was on her pad's search history. Although, lo and behold, the timestamp of when that was searched, she was at an appointment seeing a psychiatrist.
And that's court data?
This is court data. It's at home.
Mm-hmm.
The pad is at home. Somehow she is searching on her pad.
Somehow.
Well, we don't know that was at home. Let me backtrack. We don't know where the iPad was, but the exact time that search history.
Okay, so she could have had it with her.
She could have been talking to her.
Yeah. But they could do location services. They could know exactly where the iPad was.
Now, all of this again, circumstantial. The neighbor kid across the street saw the body at a specific timestamp.
What body?
Her body laying in the ground on the grass because she had jumped out of the window, right?
Jumped out of the window or thrown out of the window?
Well, yeah. Well, the case claims she is accused of having failed to commit suicide by cutting her wrist, then her throat.
Wait. She tried to cut her throat?
Trying to hang herself.
Wait.
Trying to hang. She strangled herself. Tried to hang herself.
With what?
I think one of the bands. The fourth band.
She cut her wrist. She cut
her wrist, her neck, and tried to strangle herself. And then none of that worked, so she jumped out the window. Except there were no injuries. She has a crushed neck, right? Basically, broken back.
Injuries?
She has no injuries to her hand or wrists. Hands and wrists are fine. What happens when people jump out of anything or fall? They reflexively, even if they're trying to commit suicide, they reflexively put their arms out or try to block their face.
Unless they're on drugs, though. Yeah, if they're on drugs, though.
Well, if they're conscious, right? If they're unconscious, sure, then whatever.
No, I feel like if you're like
she was fully conscious when her husband arrived.
People on PCP do like shit like that all the time, and they
the toxicologist said that there wasn't enough drugs in her system at the time to make her unconscious. It wasn't enough to be enough to induce suicidal thoughts. It was like one drug out of the 4 or 5 in her bloodstream at the time was slightly elevated, but it wasn't, and that could merely be down to the fact that it was ingested in a crushed up form with liquid, probably dispersed faster because it was in lemonade.
But I thought you said that there's undisputable evidence. What's the evidence that she said? Did she say she did it?
She said she did it. She when she was accused of it, she said, yes, I did it. Basically. Yeah, she admitted to murdering the kids, and she said, I watched myself outside of my body. I watched it from a distance, and I couldn't, a disassociation.
Wait. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. She watched herself.
Yes.
Or somebody that looked
yes.
amazingly
That's what the
like
internet
herself.
has picked up on. So not only that, the internet has also picked up on some other things.
Oh.
Okay, so she's got no injuries to her hands and wrists. She's fallen, busted her neck.
That's not a big thing for me, but okay.
It's just another piece leading away from, okay. So she's crushed. He runs up. Where are the kids? She goes, they're in the basement with a crushed larynx and throat.
She says that.
Apparently, that's what he said. He said that she claimed, he told her that the kids are in the basement.
Do they have video of this from the next door camera?
He goes up to the top stairs, to the kid's bedroom. It's locked. Can't get in there. Busts through. It's all blood and gore and everything. Kids are in the basement.
Wait.
There's blood all over the place in the
upstairs.
Yeah.
And he had to bust the door down.
Yeah, because it was locked.
How was it locked? From the inside?
Yeah.
So she locked it and then closed the door after she killed the kids and dragged them out.
That's the claim. Mind you, all of this was supposed to have taken place in 16 minutes. So
she murders the kids, drags their bodies out, closes and locks the door.
Well, we don't know that she killed them upstairs, but the blood could have been hers because she was lacerated all over the place, wrists and
I mean, that you'd have DNA tests.
and the glass.
Oh, wait, did she jump out of that room?
Yeah, she jumped out.
Oh,
through
so
the
maybe
glass.
she killed the kids and then she went upstairs and then she locked herself in the room and then she jumped out the window.
Then tried to cut herself, hang herself, do all that stuff. None of it worked. Then she jumped out. Yeah, that's the claim. 3 minutes
So
after
she's
the neighbor
guilty of murder because she claimed it.
3 minutes after she was accused of having killed the kids and was on the ground. 3 minutes after she was seen on the ground by the neighbor kid across the street who was like, "Mom, there's a body." 3 minutes later, he had a 14-second phone call to his girlfriend, his affair lady, who's now his wife.
3 minutes later?
3 minutes after that time, when the kid first reported it to the parents. So neighborhood kid,
What was on that phone call?
nobody knows.
But you can get
Maybe,
records.
but that has not been made part of that has not been presented so far. What has been presented are photos of him entering the CVS where he went to go get drugs and the Triple V place where he went to get fast food for takeout for dinner. The photos do not match. They do. One of them does look like his best friend, who is very similar, very spitting image, kind of doppelganger-esque. But there are a couple differences, primarily in the hair. They have very similar Roman noses, and somewhat similar jawlines, but it's not exact. Very same complexion, same color of eyes. Hair color is very similar, but the type of hair is very different.
So his friend went into...
They're wearing the same clothes, just minutes apart.
From where?
And they're like 15 minutes from home or less. He ran 2 errands in that less than 20-minute time period. Right?
Okay.
He went to a place called Triple V.
So he leaves.
Got food. Went to CVS. But the pictures don't match. The shoes are different. In the CVS picture, the gentleman's wearing boots. In the other, sneakers.
Is that court admissible?
That's in the court, yeah. In the one that's at CVS, the guy is wearing a quarter zip black jacket with a collar. It's a nice looking jacket. And in the other, it looks to be a 3/4 or full length zip. Same black color. They both have collars.
What do you mean quarter zip? Like how far it zipped up or down?
Quarter zip. Yeah, they only go like this far.
Only goes that far.
Yeah.
The other guy has a full.
Yeah, but the main thing that you can tell is that the shoes are definitely different, 100%. There's no arguing that.
I mean, did he put on
So why
a
would you
sweater?
change shoes between locations, right? The hair is also not the same. And I swear to you.
Okay, so this is like a 3-person conspiracy between a friend, a wife.
That's what it seems like.
Have they interviewed the friend?
The defense just came on the stand. Yes, they just got their chance to start doing their presentation yesterday.
Okay, so what is this bated breath thing that everybody's waiting on?
Well, we don't know because the something happened that was out of the control of the court. The judge was like, "This is not normal. We can't really help it though, so we're gonna have to recess for the day. We'll reconvene next week."
Or does that just mean like maybe some of the internet information leaked into the jurors, so the jurors heard information they shouldn't have heard?
It's very possible. We don't know. Here's a picture just for your benefit of the two. The rest of you can look it up. We're not high tech here.
Which is the brother, or which is the friend?
That's the friend. That's him.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
That's not even a maybe. Those are like absolutely. Which is the friend? No, which is the friend? That's the friend.
There's multiple angles, but their claim that
I don't know. That kind of looks like him. I don't know.
It does kind of.
I don't know. I would say it looks like the same person. Like his friend looks different enough where. I need a better picture than that. That looks just like him at a different angle. But anyways,
so it could be. So that's part of the internet conspiracy,
or the wife, or the
right?
new wife, Rebecca, right? What was her name? Did all the dirty deeds.
Rachel, Dr.
Oh, Rachel.
Yeah.
Did they say Rachel? What did they say?
You said Rebecca.
Rebecca, Rachel. It started with an R. I'm bad with the names, by the way.
And then this is the. Let's do a picture of them smiling.
Yeah, we might try to put some of these on the screen during post-production.
Very similar looks. Very,
This is his
similar.
other wife.
Mhm.
This is his new wife.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they look alike. I mean, they have the same color hair.
Very similar features, similar build.
Sure, but that just means that he
similar
has a type.
profession. Yeah. That in and of itself, I think, is the absolute least important feature. It's just one of those WTF things that the internet has dug up. But the change in shoes and jacket, that's weird.
Mm,
The timing is
I
weird.
don't
The
know.
call to the girlfriend is weird. The fact that he's having an affair to begin with and didn't originally mention that, right? All of that's weird.
How
The
is
hands.
how did he treat the death of his kids? Was he wrecked?
He was a freaking weirdo. He was like
because that's a tell.
not to besmirch the good name of the Zuck, but you ever seen those memes of Mark Zuckerberg and like being like an alien, like just as an autistic guy? That guy is super,
Emotionally detached.
robotic, manufactured alien. Like he looks like an alien, like an AI from the future. Like Elon Musk built that guy 20 years from now, and then he discovered time travel and came back. That's what he looks like, right?
This guy?
No, Zuckerberg. And this guy behaved that
sure.
way. This guy was just like this guy out-zucked the Zuck in his description, and we can put it up as well.
Okay.
But his description of his kids, the utter like detachment, lack of remorse, is just so off-putting. And I think a lot of people feel that way. It's kind of a gut reaction that people have, and they can't put it to words. But it's like that's not right.
All right.
If my kids were murdered,
I would act this way. Yeah.
So, anyways, this brings up questions about the legal system because all of this stuff that's been dug up after the fact can't be admissible.
Sure.
So this may be a case where a woman spends the rest of her life in prison with no hope of parole. She's at the mercy of a trial, a jury, right?
Why can't it be admitted to court?
Because that's the law. It was discovered outside the confines of the legal system. The legal system did not drag any of this up. This is what people figured out.
Yeah, sure. But the legal system can use that information if it is valid, and they can admit it to court under the right proper mechanisms, because there is a mechanism for admitting evidence to court, and then you can use that if there's enough and a lot of these details, by the way, are not like crazy out there details, right? It's like there's enough information that should be admissible to the court trial. I have a good friend that's a lawyer that I'd love to hear his opinion on this trial, just because I have no legal experience whatsoever. Every time I need legal advice, I call him. Thank you. You are the best friend ever. Also, he was in my wedding. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I think she admitted to it.
Mm-hmm. That's the problem.
And
can we take the word of a woman who's clearly has such a history of psychosis and possibly even schizophrenia?
Yeah, but there's a thing on the legal system that when somebody takes responsibility for something and there's not enough evidence for something else,
correct,
then it is enough that they are blamed, and whatever you say and do can be used against you in a court of law. So if she said, I did it, that's an admission of guilt.
Mm-hmm.
And an admission of guilt is, in a lot of respects, considered very high on the order of
absolutely.
Our legal system. So I'm not saying any of this other information isn't valid. What do you think, Internet? I think it's a conspiracy. I'm on the conspiracy side. I think he did it. Especially if you describe him as an alien. Absolutely, he did it. I'm in. He's an alien from a different planet, and he brainwashed his new wife to do it.
Yeah, it's just that none of the details really make a whole lot of sense. And some of them, maybe some of those assumptions that I am making personally there might be a bit of a bias based on gender or sex, right? There might be a gender bias there. Maybe I'm assuming that women.
No, dude, I've seen murder trials where the woman absolutely did it, and you're like, she's done it. Over.
But that's the thing is you look at this woman and you go 16 minutes to brutally kill her kids. So she planned this, right? That's the accusations, that she intentionally sent her husband out of the home. 16 minutes. She takes this lemonade,
premeditated.
She pounds this concoction, which is not her normal modus operandi, including at least one drug that she had intentionally weaned herself off of months prior because she hated it. And a drug, by the way, that was in his custody because he admitted in court to having taken it away from her so that he could dispose of it.
See, here's the weird thing.
That's weird. I forgot to mention that earlier. But that's one of those weird little circumstantial things.
The thing is I know I've sadly experienced people trying to commit suicide in their lives. And when they try to commit suicide, there is no crushing things up and planning it out. It's usually, I'm just going to literally slam an entire bottle of pills and shit's going to
That's
happen.
that's what the world is saying. Like, why would you
Um,
slam the pills? You've got bottles of them. Just chug those. You have enough to definitely disrupt your heart, right?
yeah, it's definitely a weird case.
Mhm.
And I don't know if, like I said, I had known nothing about this coming into this case. He was talking about it. We should talk about this. I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay, well, we're going to leave it to the internet. You
Yeah.
guys decide what you think. I'm on the he's an alien and he totally drugged his wife side of things, and only time will tell. We'll see if ever evidence comes out and if the court changes its opinion.
And I'm on the he's a cheating bastard side of things. And
See, that is a better argument for, the whole, you were like the sexist, interpretation of things. I think if
I'm looking at things from a male's perspective, obviously. I don't know what it's like to be a woman who's dealing with postpartum depression. I don't know what it's like to be a woman dealing with all of the hormonal aftermath.
you do know cheating bastards,
I do know a couple. Yeah. So,
and I do not
sadly.
approve. So yeah, so we'll leave it there. Internet, your choice. And with that, this is
Perspectives.